Hey guys, just quickly throwing this in here. If you would like to get the prompts on how to build these automations, like the exact prompt used to make them and all the APIs and everything else and all the information, you can go to the link in the description, which will take you to my website. There I have all the PDFs available to download. You just got to put your email in. I don't have a newsletter, so you won't get anything further, but it will just send you the one you want. If you want all of them, you can just, get them all, and that's fine. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise,
Hey
back to the
guys,
video.
so today we are going to look into automations that are beneficial for clients. There are so many automation systems that are created out there which focus on developing a dashboard for people, for creating their own agentic system. So we're kind of assuming that they have access to the top tier models, be it Fable 5 or GPT 5.6, which for the most cases, the vast majority of people do not have access to, nor will they get access to them because they simply don't need it in their business. What they need is structured automation systems that run on a consistent basis that do not require much input from themselves, and that are visually very easy to run, and that essentially have a very clear output afterwards. And so here I have created simply a demo version. So these are real automations that I've set up for most of my clients, and all of them have been incredibly beneficial, and they're all relatively simple to set up for yourself or for the clients that you help as well. We've got one which is a client intake one, so this is if you've had a new client phone call and you want to do some additional research afterward, and so on. We've got like a session note, so this is like a continuation. So if you have, for example, a weekly phone call with a client or a bi-weekly phone call with this client, getting all that information that's discussed in that phone call and then getting it automatically updated onto their profile and getting a follow-up email inputted and created and generated as well. And then you have a content studio, so this is using from a voice note. So a lot of my clients will send me voice notes on ideas and inspiration and things that they had, which I actively motivate them to do because it's just the quickest way to get information from them. And add to this, I was essentially downloading the voice note and then I was throwing it into my AI model and then I was getting the post generated and bits and bobs. Anyway, automating it so that the voice note comes in and it automatically generates the content from that. We then have firm operations, and this is probably the most complex one, and it's essentially understanding a full-size firm. I base this off an accountancy firm I work with, and it's understanding their CRM systems, their invoice system, in this case, company house, FCA, any other relevant information. So pulling in all the different various bits of APIs so that everything is automated, everything gets pushed, all follow-up sequenced. So contracts, invoices, any bit of paperwork that needs to be sent that hasn't been sent, any follow-up information, all of it's just done automatic or flagged to a human if it needs human review. Let's talk about each one of these and go through how and what they would do. Now, what I did to start with is I made some demos. And you can very easily now ask Claude to make a demo version of what you want the product to look like. And so this is, for example, the client intake one. So imagine I've had a phone call with, let's say, a UK financial advisor. And after that phone call, okay, I want to do a little bit of more of a deep dive. Oh, I want the AI to understand more about them, so it's going to look at their link, their website, again, FCA, company house, socials, any information that would be beneficial for this specific client phone call. It will have their transcript, of course, as well from the phone call as well. It will then get all the research done, action plans, and everything else. We then have, in this case, the session review. Now, this one was based off a private tutor that I work with, and so she helps students out on a weekly basis. And so this is pretty much just getting the session from what they've had and then updating their notes so their CRM or their student tracker platform, you can imagine a client tracker platform, whatever system you're using, is automatically updated with the relevant information. And in this case, an email can be generated for the parent, an email can be generated for their teacher, so they're updated as well on what's good, what's bad, what they need to be doing more of. An email can be generated for a student as well to follow up with the relevant homework, because you could link in all the next steps, all the PDFs, handouts, anything that you can think of which would make the transition and the steps after the phone calls had as seamless as possible. All that basic admin stuff that it doesn't take time to do it. Depending on the client, it can take a lot of time for some clients, but it is done just automatically. And if you've got like 5-6 phone calls a day with potential people, or even maybe more or less, it's just taking away that 20-30 minutes done on each one of them. It's making it seamless for you. And again, making sure you don't miss out any potential steps based upon what you're doing already, and just avoiding all the annoying admin that you probably would rather not be doing. Then we have the voice note ones. As mentioned, voice note comes in. It has the research topics. It has the top performance hooks, image library, so it can scan the images and input the best image at the same time, and then it will generate the post. It will have quality gates, so all of that's there, and then it will generate a post for every single day, which you can then approve if you want to and get automatically scheduled into your content. Super time save, really easy, built well. You can create content for your clients which not only sounds like them, but also will generate business for them as well, make their life easy. Maybe make your life easy, because maybe you want to do that for yourself as well, and for your clients or for your own business. And then last but not least, we have like this is the firm operation. So this one I based off an accountancy firm, but you could take it to a legal firm, you could take it to a healthcare firm, you could take it to a marketing firm, like any industry really could have this sort of operation. It would just have different APIs and different things linked to it, and what it's going to do is go through all the information it has available. Okay, this stuff is flagged, it needs to be done. This stuff is deadline, needs to be returned. This is missing, this is overdue. And then what it will do from that, it will automatically send out the relevant emails to these people so that they get a friendly nudge, a little gentle chase. It will do everything that's needed, and then it will of course update the relevant people in-house as well, so that these are the invoices that we chase, these are the things that have been signed, these are the stuff that still needs to be done, this is the stuff that you need to review, as we've already done some steps here. And so again, just making it easy for the team so that all these standard things that you do, like you're probably doing or a client's doing, where you haven't had an invoice paid and you've got to manually write out the email to someone, but like, hey, can you please get that cleared? Hope everything's okay. Whatever. It's doing that automatically for you, and you're not having to manually remind people. Again, you can set up human checkpoints, so it just puts them in your draft, or it just sends you a reminder, and then it just gives you the approval. So then you can just be like, yep, approve, and it will do all those things for you. Super easy. So that's, let's say, the outline of them, the demo versions. Then let's say, how do we build them? Now, honestly, in this case, I've used Claude Code, and it was between Fable 5 and 4.8 Opus. Either of those models, GPT 5.6 would happily make these as well. And all you need to do is just know which APIs you're going to be connecting to which, and understand the flow that it's going to go through to get the information to generate something that you want. And you could also make these with NAN as well. You could probably get each single step put into there, which might be a good work exercise, just to understand a little bit more about how this is gonna, what's the output gonna be, what the input gonna be. But if you have a basic understanding of automations, then this will be fairly simple. So let's go back. So in the client intake form, we can see it's got all the meetings. So here it's brought up a list of my meetings, and I can tick them, and then it will bring up the transcript that's automatically associated with that, because it's connected to Fathom in this case, but you can connect it to any of the API tools or any of the transcript tools that you're using with your meetings that's automatically recording your meetings. And then it's going to enrich it with further data. So you choose what enrichment sources you're going to have. So LinkedIn, website, in this case, company house, FCA, HubSpot, if you've got a CRM, Notion, if your CRM's there. And you could add as many APIs as you want into this, and you would just get Claude to build that. And you would type into Claude, hey Claude, can you add this API into this specific automation? I want to generate a client intake automation so that it automatically generates an email for me based upon the score. It'll then have the cool transcript, and yeah, you can paste it, of course. And of course, it's got a quality gate to make sure that the gathered data and information that is created for this is not fake and not hallucinated, that it is correct. So then if I go into a previous run, for example, you can see it has the research brief, it has all the action plans, so I know exactly what I'm doing, and then it has the follow-up email, which I can send as well, and then I can be like, right, yeah, send that over. So it's also, of course, connected to my email, so it can automatically send an email from here as well. And the thing is, why I built this for me and for my clients is that you're probably doing it as well. You're probably getting your transcript, you're probably copy and pasting it, you're throwing it into the AI, and then you're getting it to generate this for you, and then you're reading it, and then whatever. Let's just automate that process so that the moment a meeting ends, you will get once the transcript's done and everything, that's all the emails, you set it to run every 15, half an hour, whatever, you will get an email, or this system will update with like, hey, here's Nanda's action plan, or here's this client's action plan for this week based upon the transcript you have. Do you approve this to be sent? Here's the email, and then you just send it. So you're not having to manually copy and paste and put all the information in there from the different places. You're not having to ask the AI model, hey, can you go check this against the previous nodes, against their CRM, against all the other tools that you probably have connected to. It's just doing it automatically. Okay? So again, depending on the amount of phone calls that you're having and the amount of meetings that you're having, probably saving you quite a bit of time. So that's the intake one. Then we have the session notes, and this one's very similarly. The only difference is that it's pulling in previous information. All right, so previous information from, in this case, I've done it with a student, but again, you could do this with clients. So it's understanding, okay, what happened with this person in the past, so what happened in this meeting, so you'd get at the meeting, and then what is going to be going on going forward. So you'll then just run it again, quality gate in there, and it'll then create up the follow-up. And as I mentioned, this is again just purely for demo purposes because I can't show my clients' versions, but the client versions will have a lot more customization within them. But here, for example, this is an email to the parent, it could have an email to the tutor, it could have an email to the student, follow-ups with the homework, all the other extra recommended video, recommended watch list, all the information that you probably send to people on a weekly basis that never really changes. Because once you have your steps and your processes for how you handle your clients and how you give value to them, it's pretty much always the same. There are like these slight differences and changes between everyone, but for the most part, especially in this, they go through a very strict set process that means you need to get set information at set times. Depending on what's discussed in the meeting, the AI will be able to know, okay, so they talked about this topic, so therefore I'm going to attach this article. They mentioned this area, so I'm going to send them this video. They talked about this thing they're struggling with, so I'm going to send them this link. So it's automatically categorized everything, and it already knows what it's doing. So you're asking the AI model to build something that categorizes all the information that they have that allows you to automate the mundane task that is being done on a weekly basis, daily basis, potentially hourly basis for yourself, for your clients. And so yet again, you've got like a number of all the different APIs, and you can connect to any of the APIs you want. So again, if you're doing things through Notion, doing things through HubSpot, you're doing things through a different CRM, it's all of course possible. You just have to imagine it. We then have the content one. Now the content one is essentially just pulling it from voice notes. So I've connected WhatsApp to my system, and it'll have some voice notes in here. So it'll have the most recent voice notes that have been sent, and then it will be able to automatically pull the transcript from them. It will have your voice, your branding, which you can your LinkedIn post, your client profile, a saved persona that you already have. For example, you have your copy framework, so you can choose the framework. You can automatically have it as well. You can have multiple. You've got the audience, your saved ICP profile, describe it. It's basically fully understanding exactly how these posts can be made. Again, quality gate. It's also got an optimization sequence built into it as well, so it learns from the successful posts. It will analyze the posts as well to then understand which ones have been good, which ones have been bad, which one gained the right amount of attention in the right way. Because it's not all about how many likes you get. It's also about, did it get the right people? And then it will generate content for you. So here, for example, it's got all the posts. It's got an image that it's generated as well. This one's generated with Gemini, but you can connect any tool that you wanted to do here. You can then set a schedule, and you can also then set a comment for it to go as well. So then after the post goes out, it will automatically 2 minutes later do a comment on the post from you. which again, an engagement thing, very important to do. You've got the quality gate, all different things, and it's got all different posts here. But then you can choose, do you not want to go out? Do you want to change them? You could probably add into this, like, hey, I want to add images to all of these. So you could add like an add image to all of them. And then you can just, once you're all happy with them all, approve, they all go scheduled into your, in this case, LinkedIn. But again, it could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be TikTok, whichever API you connect it to. And so you're just asking Claude, hey, can you build me a content generator that can generate content from voice notes? And can it have a quality gate? Can it have copy? Can it have the understand about my clients? Can it understand about my audience? Can it understand all the things that make and that go into generating good content and a good post that would resonate and that your client would like and that the audience of that client would like as well. All right, now last but not least, we have the firm one. And so essentially, yeah, you've got all the sources and integrations. So for example, these are the standard ones: Xero, email, NAN, HubSpot, Notion, CRM updates, eSign, HMARC. You could add in endless API connections which you could pull information from, and you'd train it so that it knows which information. You could tailor this even more so that it would have a specific one for each individual person. So I want you to run the firm operations for this individual in this company, and it would do that. Or you could be like, run it for myself, and it would run it for yourself, and it would be tailored towards that specific person within the company. You of course have a client book. So here, for example, it's got a client book if you haven't got them already uploaded, and it would understand everything about them. These are of course all demo versions. So this is not a real one. This is just a demo here. So then once it's run, you then go into say the firm soup over here, for example, and it would have the scheduled run. It would have the last scanned. It will have the practice autopilot, and it will have the activity, and it will have 10 actions detected, and so on and so forth. So pretty much the same as what the demo showed, but just in a nice, easy, laid out manner, so that if they wanted it, if you wanted the client wanted to see this in this manner, you'd have it in their branding, in their version, and it would do so. But you could also have it set up so they would just get all these things sent to them. So they'd get an email saying these are the things that are due and flagged today, these are the things that have been set up to be automatically done, and then all the emails that have been drafted. Let's see, here you've got 34 potential actions needed across 30 different clients. And so all of those things automatically just created for you with the right names, with the right people. And then you can just scroll down, go through each single one, like get it. And then once you're happy with that all, you just approve and send, and it will then send all of those emails out to all of those individual clients. It has some back office stuff. It will have held for human review. So again, just automating all of that really mundane, really like simple and straightforward stuff that doesn't need you to be following up on, that doesn't need you to be checking on. You just need to be focusing on, okay, how do I make sure that what we're providing to the client is of value, and that I'm not just having to keep on reminding and chasing them for various different bits and bobs. You could set this up to have like a newsletter in it as well. You could have other benefits in here too. It really is a matter of how much you want to take the operations of what's happening within a particular firm, and how do you make it so that these things that keep the clients happy, that keep you on top of mind for them, are done in a manner that is reflective, in this case an accountancy firm, in the best possible way. And again, the quality checks, optimizer, all these things you can put into there. So there are multiple AI agents built into that are running, again, automatically when all these things are done. And look, you could probably build these things and have them all running in Claude Code or in Claude Code or in whatever setup you've got going. But you have to imagine the client themselves, they're not going to have Claude Code. They're most likely not going to. They're also not going to have access to the best tools. They're also going to want something that is easy and that's simple for them to run. They may not even want to see this dashboard. This may just be for your own purposes to make it easy for you to then showcase what's happening. They just may just want to see the things happening and get the emails that are just confirming the operations that have been done. But perhaps they would like a dashboard as well. It's entirely what they think is going to be beneficial and what you think is going to be beneficial for them, without adding additional things for them to look at. The idea of working with someone and automating some of their things with AI automations is that you're reducing the things that they have to look at, and you're making it so that they can focus on what is really important for each of their individual clients, which is for the most part making sure the relationship stays healthy, having the phone calls, having those conversations, meeting up with them in person, and doing all of the actual strategy work rather than the basic admin. So that's what this is doing. And these are, let's say, 4 automations which I have implemented across all of my client base, and they all have had very positive benefits. And so when you're working with someone, I would try and think in this type of manner and not always thinking like, what is the best possible thing out there, or what could I get them to do, rather than which is what's beneficial for yourself. You have to think about, okay, what's beneficial for them based upon what they are happy to use and what they're happy to run, what budgets they have for it, and overall what's going to provide value to not only them but their clients as well. So we're not just doing this, building something for the sake of it. It's really beneficial overall. That is the 4 automations that really make money and that people find beneficial for their businesses outside of what I've already made, which is the outbound outreach system, which does both LinkedIn and email and everything else. That fully automates the initial conversations to get people in your diary. Here are the ones that I'm building for people outside of that on the internal side, which I would say are not the most attractive or pretty or exciting thing to talk about, but really provide true value to them, and isn't just something fancy like a stupid Jarvis talkbot, which, let's be real, in an office situation, no one is going to want. Anyway, so yeah, this has been 4 automations which bring revenue. If you have any questions on how to build these, what to do with them, what to link with them, or you're not understanding anything that I've shown today, just please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. I'd be interested to hear your take on what you've been building for people and what you've found has value for them as well, whether you've been building it on, you've been setting up a VPS for them, or you've been building it on their server, or you've been connecting to a number of different things so that you can run stuff. Of course, be really interested to learn your experiences. Otherwise, yes, I wish you a wonderful day.
Hey guys,
and
thank you for watching the video.
For
If you've gotten this far, I really appreciate you. As mentioned at the start, if you would like to get access to all of the prompts and all the APIs and everything that is used to make these with Claude Code, you can just head to the link in the description, which will take you to my website, and there you'll be able to put in your email and you'll get all the PDFs sent to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful week. Thank you.